your girl, Loren Dalrymple, the original SoFF, that sister with a fuller figure to you. And welcome to another edition of Love Never Fails, a podcast on the SoFF Creations platform. Today, my guest is world-renowned drummer Vincent Dunn, who's appeared on radio and television and drummed for the likes of Pharrell Williams, Leon Ware, Madonna, Cleo Lane, Loose Ends, Courtney Pine, to name a few, and of course the Vincent Dunn Orchestra, whom I have had the pleasure of performing with myself. He's a fine teacher and educator of the subject of drums and percussion, and he's here with me now. Hello, Vincent.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really sorry we can't be together, but this is as good as it gets on this lockdown thing.
But this is good enough, you know.
Well,
we're
yeah.
in strange times. We're in strange times.
We are.
This is what you have to do. It's called improvisation,
It
which we
is.
do all the time.
I feel sorry for you though, because I know that your life lightens up whenever you see me, and you can't see me right now, so I know you're in a dark place, but it's cool, babe.
I've pictured you in my mind. So it's all healthy.
Love it, bruv, love it. Anyway, we're going to talk today. You and I, we're both musicians. We've worked together. As I said, I've graced the Vincent Dunn Orchestra, which is a fine outfit of fine musicians. And
Thank you.
yes, you're welcome. I mean, you know what? We got to put some things on. We got to put some links on so people can see us.
Right, okay.
Definitely, there will be some information on Vincent Dunn and his musical prowess. And wait till you see him.
The funny thing, sorry to jump in there.
Sorry, babe, go.
Even this morning, a friend of mine, Susie G, a very fine saxophonist, saw your video singing with the orchestra and actually shared it this morning.
Oh,
really
you're joking.
random. Yeah, really
Nice
random.
one.
Said, I loved it and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, that was amazing. This is someone who I know through a completely different circle.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I just thought, wow, that was unbelievable. Because I know when we first shared it, it blew up. Everybody was just saying it just sounded awesome.
Yeah,
And,
you
know,
definitely working with you has upped my profile. You know, upped my profile. Yeah, man. Oh, you work with Vincent Dunn? I'm like, yeah, I work with. He's my friend. Yeah, we're like brother and sister. Yeah.
yeah, but it's lovely though. Honestly, I love working with you is a dream.
Oh,
You know,
thank
and you know
you.
because you know what you like. You're extremely professional.
Thank
So that
you.
makes it really easy to work with. When you work with people like that who've got a vision, they know what they like, what they don't like, they tell you, but in a nice way. So you think, okay, fine. Because at the end of the day, you know, I feel it's an honour that someone like you wants to work with me and
Likewise.
you know, so
Right back at you, bruv. Seriously.
yeah, so my thoughts are to make you happy. If you're happy, that means because it's a two-way thing. If you're happy, that means that you're going to give a fantastic performance. The audience love it. The feedback comes, and it's like an eternal cycle. It just keeps them going and going.
Yeah,
and
we
people
really
can't wait to get to the next one.
We really have had a good time making people happy. I mean, as you know, I have coined the phrase "the joy bringers" for musicians, and the fact that we get to bring joy for a living, and somebody is prepared to pay us for it as well.
But that's like the golden bonus, because I really would do this for nothing.
Yeah,
There's so much enjoyment in it, and what you get from it. Sometimes money, it just doesn't compare, because what you get from it spiritually, mentally, just through satisfaction, and you actually see, you get recognition for the hard work that you put in.
Absolutely.
That is very, very, very gratifying.
Yeah.
Very gratifying.
And on that note, I would like to ask you, because we are musicians and we love doing it. And because you did mention earlier, it's strange times that we are in. My question to you today, the subject matter of our little chat, is how do you feel music can be a healer?
Very simple. I can only guess for other people, but I know from me personally, through the little experiences. No, they're not little experiences. They're big experiences in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Music has been the anchor that has saved me. You know, I'm not a religious person, but I'm a very spiritual person. And music is a very spiritual thing, because if you actually play it with your heart, not just from your head, but from your heart, that's why that's how you create emotion. You create a feeling and a sense that people they are so happy when they're part of that experience, even if they don't play music. But the feeling they get from you and the feeling you get from giving it,
yes,
you can't quantify that. You can't even put it into words.
Yeah, I know. It's you and I have often said music is like food. I mean, it doesn't help that you and I we're both a couple of foodians. We really like our food.
Oh, I'm a proper foodie. Yeah, and I relate everything to food.
But it's true. When you think that food nourishes and sustains, upholds you, and it even gives you a sense of warmth. Like you might remember a cake that your mum made or the pie that your grandma made. In the same way, I can think back on a gig we've done or I've done with other musicians or tours I've been on, thought about the music and just taken myself to a place of almost euphoria.
It's incredible. You know, sometimes these musical experiences, sometimes I don't have the vocabulary to express how important they've been. They've been sort of like landmarks in your life.
Yeah.
They remind you. I can think of certain tracks, and I think of my parents. You know, I can think of, on a Saturday afternoon when I listen to Greg Edwards, and
Oh my gosh! First of all, let me stop you there, Vince. You you just said that you remember Saturday afternoon listening to Greg Edwards. First of all, you and I were 10 years apart in age, but our experiences are very much the same. I've got Guyanese parents, you've got Jamaican parents. We brought up in London. I went to the girls' school in our area. You went to the boys' school in our area.
My house.
Say that again, my darling.
My house was just around the corner from your school. Was just up the road from my house.
Exactly. So I know that you went to the boys' school, and even though there's 10 years difference, and you mentioning Greg Edwards and slipping it in there like that, it's true. When we were coming up in the 70s and 80s, of what was becoming the second generation of Black Britain, if you will, these were the joys. Listening to that type of music, pirate music stations, getting ready for a party with that on, LWR, Horizon Radio, them things there.
Oh, listen, I never forget this. This one Saturday, and we had this long hallway, and my mum was down in the kitchen, and he was playing Float On by...
The Floaters?
Oh, my mum came in the room, and he played the long album, so it was like the instrumental bit, and then he went into the vocals. And she came in and she sat down and she just said, "Whoa, what a lovely record."
Do you know what? I'm not going to joke with you. I'm not. This is the truth. This is the truth. I walked in the room the other day and we're talking about some old geezer and how he thinks he's still cool. And I said, that brother's like cancer and my name is Larry.
Seriously, that tune, my mum loved that.
Yeah.
And the funny things, there's certain tunes, there was another one, obviously Minnie and Rickleton, Loving You.
Yeah.
That was another one she just absolutely floored her.
Yeah.
Because of the words. So there's certain tracks that remind me of a certain time in my own life, in my parents' life, I'm in the mood for love, Lord Tiamo, all them tunes.
Oh, definitely.
My mum and dad dancing like.
But wait a minute, V. We've dropped that before on one of my gigs. Yeah. We've dropped the Skia lick to I'm in the mood for love. We've done that.
Yeah.
And
so one thing, that's how powerful those tunes are.
Yeah.
That's how powerful they are. They remind you of good times, family, food.
Oh my gosh, parties, parties that we. Because check it, my son and his generation, and even your children, they will know more. They will still know about family parties, but they will know more about going out. Whereas what we knew was getting dressed up to go to someone's house, or going to someone's church hall at best. We don't know about no club or going. When you went on holiday, you didn't go to a hotel. You went to someone's house. So it was all kept within the family thing. So let me hit you with this now. We're asking if music is a healer, and it's obvious that you and I are becoming very heightened by this subject because it makes us happy. So therefore, even there's no music playing right now, but even the subject of the music is making us happy. So it's a thing where we know that it can be a healer, but then we're talking about, we were born in this country of Caribbean people who didn't necessarily have hordes of money. What they had was lots of love, and that love was reflected in the way we were raised, even the discipline we were given. I mean, I can talk about taking 2 licks and laugh, whereas my English friends are, that's abuse, really, is it?
No.
So my point is, do the fact that we're healed by this, do you think that music is so very important for our culture in this country?
Let me tell you something. Education, and I'm through that, and when I use that word education, people learn about other cultures and other people through music and food.
Yeah.
The 2 things. Music. When you learn about a style of music, you learn about the people who make the music, the people who've created this music, and then you find out about them. And then through food is such a organic thing. I mean, we all eat the same food, but we eat it in different ways. We spice it. So when you learn about food, then you learn about the culture. You learn about then you learn about the history, where things originate from.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that the British national dish was curry, and I was like, I thought it was pie and mash. Straight up. But, you know what I mean? But what do I know? I only play the drums, so
But you see, it's the British national dish because of its popularity, and because there are some people who would disagree with you completely and be offended by anybody saying that, because they still feel, no, curry is coming from Asia, it's coming from that part of the world. But because of the dealings and the misdealings, if you will, of this country with other cultures, because when it does come to music, I do feel a lot, especially today, I can see it reflected in the music that my son and the generation after me listens to.
Yeah.
There is a sense of thievery going on. I know that music belongs to us all, but let's give credit where credit is due. Yeah?
Of course, every day. Its origin is very important.
Right.
Once you understand the origin, you can know where it's going to go. Because everything you hear, a lot of things you hear today are regurgitated forms of music from yesteryear. Because, those people did that organically, and their sense of inspiration and where they got it from, it's just like, whoa, it's big. So, like, a lot of people, a lot of the artists, I don't know a lot of today's artists. And
no, me neither, to be honest.
I really don't. There's only 1 or 2 things I hear, and I think, wow, that's really good. But it's coming from a school. It's coming from a certain flavour.
Yeah.
Because, that quality can never, ever be taken away. And that's why there's music of yesteryear will be held in the same esteem as Bach and Mozart, and people like that, because they're timeless classics.
Well, God bless the sample for that. Because one thing I do love about my son, who's also a musician and an aspiring producer, is that the things that he will sample, I'll get excited because I've got it on vinyl. Somewhere in my vinyl collection, he's sampling it from a music bank offline. I'm thinking, I know that's a Ray Parker Jr. or that's a BT Express right there, or that's or a Patrice Rushen or something like that, and I'll drag out the record and play him the whole thing, and say or I'll send him and say you need to listen to the whole thing, because that's where the essence of that little 4-bar sample is coming from.
Yeah, and the funny thing, I listen to certain pop tracks, and they've got almost like 4 different bits from different tracks which they compiled together.
Yeah.
So you listen to it, you think, I've heard that phrase or that hook, and then you hear another hook, and then you think, it's almost like they sort of compile it all together in a very clever way.
Yeah.
A very clever way. But I'm not saying that about all new music, because I'm sure there's lots, and obviously because you've got so many different genres and different styles. And again, through music, again, you learn about all different people and different styles of music.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that. I'm just a student of music. I love music.
Yeah, you never stop being a student, do you? No, I mean, the fact that we're asking here on this podcast, how do you feel music can be a healer? For example, the world all over has experienced the COVID-19 shenanigans. And it doesn't matter whether you've had it, whether you've had the jab, or whether you are against the vaccine or whatever, you've experienced COVID-19 in some way, and people's mental health has been messed with. I, for one, believe music has been a healer in that respect. In fact, I believe musicians are getting more respect for what we do. We're not now just seen as court jesters who go out and take copious amounts of money. We are, or indeed do well and don't get paid well. We are really being seen as, we're essential. We are another side to essentially working in people's favour to keep their spirits up. How do you feel music is helping with people's mental health during this time?
Well, again, personally, I think it's been a saviour, because I really do. Because where you are unable to go and socialise and meet other people and blah, 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 people will find sanctuary in listening to music, or, whatever style it is, just to calm themselves and help them relax. So music was very, very important. I know for me, I'm an avid music listener, so even more so, because it gave me a chance to actually really analyse and realise why I like certain tracks, certain artists and stuff. So I really, so it was an education, and it was also very much a healing process.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And the whole mental side, we're musicians, so we're social creatures. We like to play, we like to express, and blah, blah, blah. And not being able to do that was very hard. And I know for a lot of people,
yes,
have found it hard.
The interpersonal interaction with people.
Yeah.
Being me, when I'm on stage, I don't just want people to listen to me sing. I like to interact with them, make them laugh as well.
Yeah.
So it like I said, we are joy bringers. It's not just music. It's the ability to take somebody's spirit from what it was to where it can go, or allow them to believe that when you leave this gig, whatever you're dealing with, you might have a lighter heart and mind to deal with it.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Very much so. Very much so.
You've done something for mental health recently, though, haven't you?
We're in the process of actually compiling this thing called Drumming for Mental Health, where it actually starts in May. There'll be, websites and stuff like that with details for it, so people can donate and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just feel like last year, myself and a few other musicians, we did a similar thing for the NHS, and we raised a hell of a lot of money. So, and especially in light of what's gone on now, we've all been struggling, mentally, for various reasons. So we thought this would be the best thing to channel our energies in and try and support and help. And it's been a great response already.
Well, what I'm going to do is, in the bio of this podcast, put all information that people can click links and find out more about that, and indeed find out more about you, because I feel supersonically privileged to know you. You're my brethren, you're my friend, you're my big brother. And mind you, a lot of people say, is Vincent your fella? I'm thinking, and I'm thinking, no, I need a brother with a lot better shaped head than that. I love you, but God wants you to have a cuffed. And that's another thing. It's not just the fact that we're musicians and we make other people happy. We make each other happy.
We do laugh.
Yeah. You do have a laugh. And a lot goes wrong on performances. Venue managers, venue owners, they're always trying to ting. They're always trying not to pay you well. They're all, some of them are a bit miserable. Some of them are a lot miserable. And you have to aspire higher and bring your game, which is the game of bringing joy through music.
Yeah.
Because these managers will drive you to drink their bar dry.
Yeah. Some of them do. Some of them are just challenging. The word is challenging.
Yeah.
Some of them are challenging, but you know what? I don't actually let it bother me, because at the end of the day, as long as you get what you want in the end, there's always a price you have to pay for it. And I don't mean that just in terms of monetary things. Sometimes you might have to dig a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
To show a little bit more tolerance and a bit more understanding.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you never know what other people are going through. So
true.
They might be having a rough time. So
yeah,
it comes out of them in a bad attitude.
Yeah, it manifests differently from person to person. So, no, you're absolutely right.
So I don't actually take that on board. I'm just going to be focused. Unless someone's directly in my face, and then that's a different story. But
do you know what, Vince? Let's not get onto that subject, because I know you will.
It could be good.
But listen, before I love and leave you, and we wrap this up.
Can't be going yet.
No. We're good. What I wanted to just, I have to put this out. You sent me a link the other day. And I just want you to talk about why you sent me that link, what that was all about.
Right. Well, I was out walking. To be truthful, I'm not going to go into it, but I've had a problem this year. It's not been a great start of the year for me at all. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I know.
And so I was out walking, which sounds to most people a very simple thing, but from where I'm coming from, that's like a landmark. So for me, I was out walking, I've got my headset, I've got the sounds on, and I was listening to the Italian Barry White, Mario. Oh, man, that guy's voice is so sexy, it's not even funny. So it's unbelievable. So I was playing these tunes, this is what you are, and I'm bopping with, my dodgy legs, I'm bopping in the park, and people look at me and think, that guy is so happy. And someone stopped me, and then the Nat tune came on, and it said Little Sticks, and instantly I went, ping. I said, I've send this to Lauren. I have to. Because when I listened to that track, I listened to it about 3 times. Honestly.
Me too, after you sent it. And the thing is, I don't need to ask myself why you would send me a link to music. That's what we do. We create music and we love music and we share it. So when you sent me that, I thought this is going to be a good one. Immediately, because of the good spirit that sent it to me, I know this is a link that will heal something somewhere. And I click on it and I play it, and I know the artist. I did not know that tune, I have to admit. And the first 3 words are, "Hey, little sister," which is what I am to you. And so I knew immediately, this brother is sending me a healing.
Yeah, and it was. And I played that. I played it. In fact, I played it 4 times. 4 times.
Yeah.
I played it. After I sent it, I listened to another 2 times. And then when I finished the walk, I played it again, because it's one of those really uplifting.
Yes.
It's just great. And I thought, right, and then I said, right, I've got to have this track written for the band, because this is one of the tracks that you would sing and rip it to bits. And I thought, it's one of those tracks.
I, like you, haven't had a great start to the year. I know that you're not mentioning what's gone on with you. I have lost my father, and because of COVID, it took 2 months to get to a date to bury him. And now that I'm on the other side of that, I'm opening life back up, but because it was my dad who influenced my love of music, and I believe my father is the catalyst of why I became a musician in the first place. Music most definitely did heal me, is healing me. Now I am dealing with the fact that any piece of music I hear, including the piece you sent me, I can't share that with Papa now. For the first time in my 49 years of life, I cannot share music with the person who said, as a little girl, said, come and listen to this, So I that's the start of the year I've had, and it is my reality now going forward. So just to answer my own question, when I asked you, how do you feel music can be a healer? I don't know how it can, but I do know 100% that it is.
Yeah. Because I tell you what, when I was in hospital and things were looking really dark and really bleak, a mate of mine, Vinny Silk, he used to send me music, send me tracks,
Right.
and he sent me this this track, "Come Go With Me," but it's the American band Pockets.
Right.
And oh my life, I couldn't move because my legs weren't working, but I laid in that bed and I was imagining I was like Fred Astaire. I was dropping some moves, and this is like at 2:00 in the morning because I since being in hospital, my sleep patterns are completely gone.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go to sleep at night.
Yeah.
So I'm in there singing away, so much so the nurse came and told me, "Can you keep the noise down?" Blah blah blah. People are trying to sleep, and there's me. What? I'm just having a party. Slow down.
Yeah.
Get the drinks in there. That's one of those.
Oh, mate, that's so beautiful. I unfortunately have to wrap this podcast up, but I will thank you, my friend, my colleague, my brother, Mr. Vincent Dunn, drummer extraordinaire. Thank you so much for joining me today.
It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's lovely to talk to you. It's always engaging, it's always fun, it's always knowledgeable, it's always educational, so it's great. I just can't wait for us to work together.
I know, can't wait for that either. So I will say, to wrap this up, that we agree, music is food, music is life, music is love, and therefore it's through the love that it gives us. It is a healer, most definitely. I am Loren Dalrymple, the original SoFF, that sister with a fuller figure to you. You have been listening to Love Never Fails. Thank you so much for joining us. Love, peace, and hair grease to each of you.